we need is a map. I think that's what we need this morning. Maybe a lighter t-shirt. I think it's going to be another hot one today. Yeah, look at you in your fancy garage. Right, we can go... Well, we can go anywhere we want. So the only question is, where do you want to go today? It would be useful if you found where we were on the map first, you moron. Right, where are we? We are... somewhere. No, not there. Down here somewhere. Here we go. We are... there. We want to go... I don't know. Let's go south a bit and see what happens. It's kind of a bit rudderless this morning. Trying to figure out what I wanted to do today, where I wanted to go, and nothing was jumping out at me. And then this museum literally jumped out at me, and I thought, geez, that looks quite interesting. Now we're going to a museum, but it's not the type of museum you're thinking of. In fact, I don't know if you're going to see this one coming. And all these tractors would have been still in use up until the 50s. Oh, this is Brian heaven. An old garage full of old cars. Oh. 1928 Ford. I think that's a Maharinda. Not too sure. But the back, can you see that? I'll zoom in a bit. Look at this thing! Renault 4, 1951. Here's another one of those offset tractors. You buy from the front, the seats to the side. I don't know what they were for. Maybe something to do with, I don't know, better vision when you're ploughing fields or something. As you can probably tell, I am not a farmer. This was one of the original voiture sans permis. So in France, you can get a type of car. It's called a voiture sans permis, and it's basically a car that you can drive without a permit. And a lot of young kids, 16-year-old kids, they'll end up getting one as their first kind of car. And there's now there's a little diesel engine in them, 3-cylinder engine, and they max out at 50 kilometers an hour. So they're really good for young kids to get going driving, because they're not jumping into a car that can do like 100 kilometers an hour. And it means for kids in rural France, it's easy for them to get about the place, because they live in the middle of nowhere. But that's one of the originals there. Look how tiny it is. There's a Renault 5. That's sort of, it's about 10 years older than the one I have. Look at all the 2 CVs he's got here. These are all, I think the ones with the convertible roofs are the Citroen Dianes, D-I-A-N-E, and then these ones are like a van version of the 2CV, which are pretty cool. I have a mate that owns one of these, bright pink. He still drives it around the place. 4-speed gearbox, 2-cylinder engine, hence 2CV. Now these are cool. These 204s, there's no Peugeot 204. You can get like I wonder if he has any here. You can get actually it's this one here. See the way this is like I don't know what you'd call it. Not a saloon car. Is it a saloon car? But you could get one that's like a pickup truck. That's really cool. Ah, here it is. It's a 504. But you get like a cool car at the front and then a pickup at the back. And the seat is like one big bench seat in the middle. I don't know why I love old cars so much. I think it's in this passion handed down to me from my grandfather and my father. It's just the simplicity of them. You know, it's wheels, engine, gearbox, go. There's no fancy electronics. There's no airbags or ABS brakes or power steering. It's just a way to get from A to B, and they're really easy to fix most of the time. Just got so much stuff. Like many of these collections in rural France, they didn't start out as museums. They started out as farmers just collecting stuff. And in the case of this place, Jean-Claude's wife turned around to him a few years ago and said, would you please stop collecting stuff and just letting it sit in the fields? Or if you're going to keep doing it, at least turn it into something useful. So he opened a museum. What a cool spot! Right, need to figure out where we're going now, cause we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I'm thinking, pull over down here, get that map out again, see what we're dealing with. Yeah, let's pull over here before we start making wrong turns. Right, we have a plan. Well, we have the makings of a plan. I had a nice lunch here in what's this place called? Can't remember. Name on the screen. But we're going to head down to the Lot River Valley, which is about 20 minutes south of here, and then kind of pick our way east to Cahors. Please let me, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll double check that. Have a waddle around there, and then decide if we're going to stay down here tonight or we're just going to go home. Not too sure. Got some stuff to do tomorrow. So, I don't know. Let's see how we get on. What are you doing on this road, you idiot? It's like the worst car to bring on this road. Oh look, a ditch. Cross it that way, and then that way. Yeah, let's go and have a look at this observation point. It'll be great crack. Okay, I don't want to drop off the side of that. Definitely don't want to drop off the side of that. Come on, car. Come on, car. Another ditch. I can just imagine the headlines. A moron was found upside down in his stupid sports car at the bottom of a cliff. People are baffled as to how he got there in the first place. Surely he didn't drive on that road, they said. Welcome to Cahors. Not Cahors. The H is silent. Like a lot of other words like exhibition, archaeology and vehicle. Although if you're in Ireland and you're in the police force in Ireland, pronounce it vehicle. So the H isn't silent in that one. Anyway, we go here, but picking our way down the Lot River. It's quite nice. Very balmy today, although there is a bit of a breeze, but we'll, get over that. So just arrived into town. Plan is have a bit of a squint around the place, see what's going on. Now, although Cahors is famous for its wine production, it does have a link to the Cruz, the department I live in. It's quite a strong link and a very important one. And that link is a man called Jean-Jacques Chapot. Now, Jean-Jacques Chapot was a resistance leader during World War II. He's also known as Capitaine Philips. And he was born in a town called Montcluc, which isn't too far from Cahors. During the Second World War, he was transferred to command the Resistance Brigade, and indeed help in the formation of it, up in the Cruz, where we live in. He was instrumental in the capturing of Thun, the city that was taken under German occupation. Unfortunately, the next day, the city was recaptured by the Germans, specifically the 2nd SS Panzer Division, who went on to commit, atrocities in the town of Oradour-sur-Glane. We visited that last year. In 1944, Jean, or Capitaine Philippe as he was known by then, was well known to the Gestapo and the SS, and he was indeed hunted by them actively. And in 1944, he was ambushed by the Jesser Brigade, just outside a town called Bergenhof in the Cruz, probably 2 hours from the chateau. Now, the Jesser Brigade were a ragtag bunch of degenerates, basically. Men with questionable morality pulled from other German army units and put together under the command of a General Kurt von Jesser. In 1944, they ambushed Capitaine Philippe outside Bergenhof. And during the ambush, Jean-Jacques emptied his gun at the Jesser Brigade, killing a few of them, and then unfortunately took his own life, rather than being captured and tortured for information by the SS. And today, there's a statue of him just outside the cathedral here in Cahors, commemorating his sacrifice. There's also another statue, same guy, at the ambush site in Bergenhof, up in the Cruz, where we all live. Now, unfortunately for me, Cahors seems to be a very popular place because I had a quick squint around the place. There doesn't seem to be many hotels available in the city. So we're going to go and chance our arm a bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how much my arm I need to chance to get a knockdown room in this hotel, because it's fancy looking. I'm thinking probably about up to here. Right, you lot wait here because I can't afford rooms for all of us. There's like a few more guests here, but not many, I think. And they said, would you like a tour of the wine cellar and like a tasting experience? And I went, yes, I absolutely would. And I've asked them, can I film it and bring you lot along? And they were like, okay, we'll check with the tour guide. And he said, yeah. So we're all going on a wine tasting tour in a bit. I haven't actually seen the room yet. They just said, come in and have a welcome drink, which is quite nice. And then I think at 5:30 we're going on the tour. So I should probably finish this, go up, maybe have a quick shower, go and have a look at the wine cellar. That's a view. Right, we've got 10 minutes. Get ready for this wine tour. And I could do with a shower, if I'm honest. Right, we better get into this wine tour. How have I got myself into a wine tour? What do I know about wine? I hope they're not expecting cultured opinions on their wine, because I'll be like, yes, that's red, it's lovely. Okay, where do you get down to the absolute maze of a place? Okay. Oh, that's not it over there.
So, welcome to the wine cart.
It's a lot of bottles.
A lot of bottles. So this is kind of like, we call it, in French we call it mur de souvenir. That means like a souvenir wall. So you have all the great vintages that we harvested. The most recent good vintage, you didn't put it here, like 2018 or 20, it was a very good vintage, but we are taking a bit more time because it's also already in sale as well. So after a time, we will put it here as well. Complexity it will have in the more character it will give to the wine. So grains, when it's in the grain, if you see here, this wood is quite flat. It doesn't have this kind of small grain stain. This called grain in wood. For example, this one, it has a lot of grains. If you see here, this one is quite flat. So the more grain you have in the wood, more it will be complex. So a lot of wineries, especially the big wineries who have budget and the power of negotiation with the barrel maker, they can choose even their type of wood they want and type of barn they want. Because when you make a barrel, you burn the barrel inside. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Scorch it with flames.
So, well, because you see, it's kind of like a round shape.
Yeah.
So if you just use a classic wood and you kind of like try to bend it, it will get broken.
Right.
So you just need to heat it up to bend it. Have you ever tasted Malbec before?
Yeah, but not just.
What kind of wine you like then?
Red wine.
Grape, and prepared grape. So this one, the number 666 actually came from the density of the plantation. So usually in any appellation you have around from 4,000 to 4,500 plots per hectare. But for this one, it's a parceller, so we have only few parcels of this.
Welcome to the Chateau De Mercues. It was built in the 13th century on a cliff overlooking the Lot River Valley, primarily as a defensive position for the city of Cahors and the surrounding vineyards. But after the need for that function lessened, it became a summer home to the bishops of Cahors for many years, in fact up until the 20th century, when it was bought by the Chrysler Motor Corporation, who owned it and opened it to the public for the first time in its existence. Now, Chrysler ran into some difficulties back in the last century, and it was sold in 1983 to the Vigouroux family, who re-established and expanded the vineyards that were available to buy with the chateau, and it now is famous for producing one of the finest Melbach wines in the region. The name of that wine is 4 Sixes. It's very nice. I had a glass of it last night, although it was a wine guided tour, so it was one of those ones where you drink the wine and then you spit it into a bucket. But still, very nice. Right, well, that's today's vlog. Yesterday's vlog. The vlog. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I've had a great couple of days. It's nice to just go with the flow every now and again. Not to get stuck into routines as you get older and just, I don't know, go out and see what happens. Well, I have to get home now because I have stuff to do. So, better hit the road. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon.